Shri Paramatmane Namaha. अथ श्रीमद्भगवद् गीता अथ चतुर्दशोऽध्यायः. This is the 14th chapter in Bhagavad Gita, the 14th discourse of Bhagavan Krishna. And the name of this chapter is Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, the clear distinction of the three gunas. That is the theme of this chapter. In the last chapter, Bhagavan Krishna very clearly explained about the Purusha and the Prakriti, and he said that all the modifications takes place in Prakriti. The Prakriti has three gunas, that is the Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. We are all the evolutes of Prakriti, and so we also will have these three gunas, but in different combinations according to our karmas. So when a person know about these three gunas, we can come over these three gunas. So that is the main matter of this topic. Why we should know about these three gunas? Anyway, we are going to identify ourselves with ourself, which doesn't have any gunas or qualities, which is nirguna. So then what is the need for understanding these three gunas? One may think like that. The main point in understanding the three gunas is only when we understand it, only when we know the depth of it, we will be able to overcome it. For example, if we want to cross the river, it is better to know about the depth of the river and the current of the river. It will help us definitely. So it is for that purpose we want to understand the nature of these gunas. And this creation or Prakriti has three gunas. That is why we say that Prakriti is Trigunatmika. So for that purpose, we are learning about these three gunas to cross over it. And in this chapter, it has 27 shlokas. And let us see what this chapter, Bhagavan Krishna says in this chapter. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Param Bhuyah Pravakshyami Jnananam Jnanamuttamam Yajñātvā Munayah Sarve Param Siddhimito Gataha. Now I declare to you, Arjuna, about the Jnanam Uttamam, the Jnana which is the supreme, yet Jnatva, knowing that Munaya, the great rishis have gone beyond, they have gone to perfection. They Siddhi Madhogata, they have gone to perfection, to the state of perfection. So that perfect knowledge I will now declare to you, Arjuna. Bhagavan Krishna says, Idam jnanamupashritya mama sadharmyamagataha sargepi nobhajayante pralayena vyathanti cha. There is this knowledge. Many people, they take refuge in this knowledge. If you take refuge in this knowledge, then you will sadharmya, mama sadharmya. That is, you will attain unity with me. Bhagavan Krishna is telling, if you take refuge in this knowledge, then you will attain unity with me. And that person, having attained unity with me, he will not be born again. Sarge Nobhajayante, he will not be born during the next creation. Pralayena Vyadhanticha, he will not be destroyed by Pralaya also. So the benefit of knowing this Uttama knowledge is three things. First, that person will attain unity with me. So when he attains unity with me, he will not be born during the next creation, and he will not destroyed by or disturbed by the pralaya also. So that is the benefit of this knowledge. Mama yo nirmahad brahma tasmin garbha dadamyaham sambhava sarva bhutanam tadho bhavati bharata. Bhagavan says, my womb is this great nature or this Prakriti, this great Brahma, which is compared with the Mula Prakriti. That is the great womb. My womb is that. and I placed the seed or gem in that womb, which implies that this great Prakriti is the womb, and it can be also said as the Mahat Brahma. In some philosophies, they say it is Mahat Brahma. So, this Prakriti is my womb, and I placed the germ in it. Garbham dadamyaham. I give the germ in it, which means with my help only, this Prakriti can manifest. So I am the seed there, and this Prakriti manifests only according to my ideas. That totality of the ideas, or the cosmic mind, we say, or we say things as the Mahat Tattva, or we say as Hiranya Garbha. All this is that Garbha of Bhagavan, which implies that it is the totality, idea of totality of this universe is the idea of Bhagavan. We didn't give idea for this creation. It's all, this entire creation is the idea of Bhagavan. He created everything, and after that we lived according to our lifestyle. But the core idea of this creation is Bhagavan. So that cosmic mind, the entire creation, the idea of that entire creation, I placed in Prakriti. The Prakriti cannot make this creation alone. So I placed the seed in it. With my help, with my support, this Prakriti manifests. So that's the meaning of my womb is this great Brahma, this great Prakriti is my womb. In that I placed the seed or the germ, and by that all the beings are born. So it's a very subtle and very deep shloka, which gives the complete meaning of this creation. So the Prakriti is the womb, and all this cosmic mind, or we say it as Hiranya Garbha, that is my idea, and I have placed that germ or that seed in this womb. Means I have given that idea, and according with that, by the support of the my ideas, the Prakriti manifests, and all the beings are born from it. Next shloka, shloka 4, Bhagavan Krishna says, Sarva yonishu kaunteya murtaya sambhavanti yaha tasam brahma mahadyoni raham bija pradapita. So, what are forms are produced, whatever it may be, the all the forms are produced in whatever womb it may be. That great Brahma is their womb. That is, this Prakriti is their womb, and I am that person who gives the seed in it. So I am the father, which implies here, what it implies is, so all these forms are the expression of the Atma. All these forms, whatever form it may be a stone, a one cell being, or the human beings, a big beings that has elephant, whatever it may be. All these are the expression of that Atma. So his idea, which is the seed, it gets manifested. So he is the seed giver, he is the father. And this seed cannot manifest, his ideas cannot manifest alone. It needs the support of his power, Prakriti, which is said as the womb. So whatever being is formed, it is formed according to the idea of Bhagavan. It is his idea or his expression that is manifested with the help of Prakriti, and the Prakriti here is said as the womb. So whatever it may be, it is formed like that. That's why in the last chapter itself, Bhagavan Krishna said that whatever form you see, Arjuna, all these are the combination of the Prakriti and the Purusha. His ideas or his seed gets, or his expression of that Atma, it gets manifested, and it manifests with the help of Prakriti, which is said as the womb, or the great Brahma is that womb, he says. That's the great Brahma, means that Prakriti. We all might have seen that Sriman Narayana recline in his reclining posture in yogic slumber. He will be lying on the waters of Pralaya, and a lotus flower will be coming from his nabi, and this lotus flower indicates the creation and Lord Brahma sitting on it, which implies that Lord Brahma is the totality, that is the totality of the cosmic mind. All the ideas of the creation are there in Lord Brahma, that is given by Bhagavan Sriman Narayana. So accordingly, he created the different evolutes of Prakriti, and the elements will combine and make different forms. All that are because of Prakriti, but the seed of all this creation is the idea of Bhava. So that is depicted in that picture. Lord Brahma means he is Hiranyagarbha, or you can say that universal mind, cosmic mind, Mahat Tattva, which has all the information about creation that is received from Bhagavan Sriman Narayana. So it just to indicate that this creation is born out of him, it is depicted that a lotus flower, which indicates creation, is coming from the nabi of Bhagavan, and Lord Brahma is sitting on it. That is explained in words in these two shlokas, that is shloka 3 and 4, and the next shloka, shloka 5. Sattvam rajasthama yidi gunah prakriti sambhavaha nibatnandi mahabaho dehe dehinam avyayam. So the three gunas, that is the sattva, rajas and tamas, this constitute this prakriti. Prakriti Sambhava, these three qualities are born out of Prakriti. And this, what are the use of these three gunas? They bind that body with that embodied soul. Actually, that embodied soul is imperishable, avyayam, dehinam avyayam, nibatnanti. These three gunas binds the dehe, this deha, with the self, dehinam, with the self which is avyaya. The self is imperishable, it cannot be destroyed. But these three gunas, they bind the deha, this body which is made of prakriti and five elements, it binds this deha with the dehinam, which is the self. So that is the purpose of these three gunas. Now, where are these three gunas present? Where are they present? They are present in the mind. That's why we are in one mood in one time, other mood in another time. It's the change of these three gunas. And these three gunas are born or there in us according to our papa and punya karma. So anyway, the three gunas are there in our mind. So next, Bhagavan Krishna says in the 6th shloka, Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakashakhamanamayam Sukha sankhena batnani jnana sankhena chanakha. And how does these three gunas, which is sitting in the mind, bind the deha with the dehini, with the embodied soul self? The sattva guna with its purity, it is the nature of the sattva guna is purity, stainless nature. Nirmalatva means stainless. Stainless means without the kama, the lobha, madhavatsari, that guna, with that purity of guna, and prakasham, bright nature, brightness, understanding everything, sharp mind, we will say, that with that bright nature, anamayam, very healthy way of life, very healthy way of life, not only healthy in the sense of the healthy body also, but very healthy lifestyle, we say, very good habits, good lifestyle. Sukha Sankhena, Sukha Sankhena, by the attachment of Sukha means happiness, always want to be free, like that nature. Bhatnani, it binds, Jnana Sankhena, it binds the Deha with the self, attachment to knowledge, so attachment with that pure nature. So the pure nature is also good, but one has to go beyond, one has to become the Gunaita, pass beyond even the sattvic nature. Only then, because Brahman doesn't have any gunas, not even Sattva guna. It is beyond all these gunas. So if we want to attain that level, then we have to cross over these three gunas. So Sattva guna is good, that is supreme, very close to liberation, but one must pass that too. So this Sattva guna binds a person, give attachment by to purity, knowledge, then stainless nature, healthy nature, everything. Sattva guna is good, but if it doesn't have knowledge, then it disturbs others and as well as others. Suppose if you think we are completely, if a person has sattva guna, then he always like or inclined to purity and knowledge. Suppose if we are made to sit in a place where there is no purity or no knowledge, then we will be disturbed. But that is not the Brahmastiti. Brahman means we must surpass these three gunas. So Sattva guna, even Sattva guna, without knowledge, it disturbs a person. So one has to cross beyond the Sattva knowledge, the Sattva guna. But Sattva guna is very close to liberation. That's the difference. रजोराहात्महं विद्धि तृष्णासङ्गसमुद्भवं तन्निबध्नानि कौन्तेय कर्मसङ्गेन देहिनम्. And how does Rajas binds a person? Rajas binds a person by passion, attachment, greediness, lobha, jealousiness, all that restlessness. We will be, when we have rajaguna, we will be so restless. So it binds the deha with the self by passion, thirst for something, restlessness, no patience, too much attachment. When a person attains a position, before that celebration is over to acknowledge his high post, he aims for the next. So that restless nature and the thirst for attachment, for thirst for power and name and power. So by all these ways, the rajoguna binds the deha with the self. So only when this all these gunas binds the deha and the atma, embodied soul, it will find a place, it will find an expression. So for that reason only it binds it. So all this desires, a craving for something, all these are due to rajoguna. तमस्त्वज्ञानजं विद्धि मोहनं सर्वदेहिनां प्रमादालस्य निद्राभिः तन्निबध्नानि भारत. And how does tamoguna binds a person? The tamoguna binds the deha and the self by inertia, ajnana, and laziness, just postponing things, laziness, and delusion, complete delusion. They will not be able to decide one thing. Ignorance, by all this way, inertia, dull mind, by that way it binds the self and the deha, that is the kshetra and the kshetrajna, it binds like that. With that, all that property it binds. Sattvam sukhe sajjati rajah karmani bharata jnanamavritya tu tamaha prabhade sajjat yudha. There is how does these three gunas binds. The sattva by happiness it binds, rajas with passion, activity it binds a person, and tamas with inertness, ignorance, and their intelligence itself is covered, their knowledge itself is covered by this tamoguna. By all this way, it attaches a person, it gives attachment. That is, we all may realize it. Sometimes we will be attached to, many people will be attached to attain knowledge. Then the sattva guna is there in them. It attaches, it gives attachment to the external world by knowledge, through knowledge, through purity. And when a person has rajoguna, it attaches the person to the external world through rajasic nature, through passion, through greediness, everything. It attaches a person to the external world and to his own body or everything by tamasic nature, inertia, ignorance. So there's three gunas. It binds the self to their body as well as to the external world. That's the main purpose of these three gunas. Because only because of these three gunas, which are the constants of this prakriti, this entire creation revolves on. In this loka, any person, they will have the sattva, rajas or tamas. Even the person from another continent or even the planets, they all will have one dominating guna, subdued by the other two gunas. Bhagavan Krishna says in the next shloka, that is shloka 10, Rajas tamascha vibhuya sattvam bhavati bharata rajas sattvam tamaschaiva tamas sattvam rajas tatha. So at a time only one guna will be dominating. When sattva prevails, when sattva is dominating, rajas and tamas will be subdued, or the sattva guna overpowers rajas and tamas and it will dominate. Just like that, the rajas dominates but by subduing sattva and tamas. Tamas dominates by subduing rajas and sattva. So this is the combination. At a time, only one guna will dominate. For example, it is very common to see sattva dominating in the morning period, that is from the Brahma Muhurta till 10 or 11. Sattva guna will be dominating in a person. That's why they say when we read or study at that time, we will be able to grasp the meaning of what we study very easily during the early morning period, because sattva will be naturally dominating at that time according to the prakriti. Even in prakriti, the sattva will be dominating at that time. That's why they say we must go to temple in the early morning. We must go for a walk and enjoy the prakriti in the early morning. All these are done in that morning period, because in nature as well as in us, the sattva guna will be dominating. Around the noon period, rajas will be dominating. In the evening period, that is especially after 8 o'clock, tamas will be dominating, and we need tamas to dominate, otherwise we cannot sleep. So for some people, rajas will be very active, so they lose their sleep in the night. They cannot make the mind calm. So tamas is needed. These three gunas are absolutely needed for our life. But what is dominating in us, that we must see and change over our gunas. So Bhagavan says that only one guna will be dominating at a time, and the other two gunas will be overpowered by this one guna. That is the nature of this prakriti. Sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate jnanai yada tada vidyad vivruddham sattvametyudha. How can we understand that the sattva guna is dominating in a person? Bhagavan says, through all the gates in the body, through all the senses, when the sattva guna expresses itself. How does the sattva guna, which is in the mind, expresses itself? It expresses itself through all the dwaras in our body, especially the senses. Then it may be known that the sattva is predominating at that time. So what are the expressions of sattva? When a sattva guna predominates in us, we will have the urge for purity. We will have the urge to attain more and more knowledge. We will understand everything very quickly. We will be very calm in mind, but always performing action, that peaceful nature. We will have the natural taste for meditation, a natural urge for doing japa, taking sattvic food, reading the scriptures, just going to the temple or worshipping, like to prefer to live in a secluded place, singing the namas of Bhagavan. So these are some of the examples of some of the ways through which the sattva guna, which is in the mind, expressed through the body. Lobha pravrittirarambha karmanama spruha rajasyetani jayante vivruddhe bharadakshapha. When the rajas dominates in the mind, how will it express? It expresses through restlessness. That is the basic thing. They will not have patience. Some people we might have seen even when they wait for in the airport or in the bus station or in the railway station, they just very restless. They just can't sit in a place for some time. They just move their hands, they just move their legs, they walk here, sometimes here, without any motive. They just walk because they do not know to calm down their mind. So that is the rajasic guna finding expression through the body. So some of the gunas of rajasic nature are thirst for comforts and luxury. These people, the people who in whom the rajas is dominating, they will not be in a place where there is no comfort, where they have to be always in a comfort, luxury place, and aiming more and more. Before getting one thing, they want to achieve the next thing. Never content with anything, greedy nature, restlessness, always after name and power, fame and power, and they often change the mind. So these are the ways through which the Rajoguna expresses or finds expression through the body. And the next is the Tamoguna. अप्रकाशो प्रवृत्तिश्च प्रमादो मोह एव च तमस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे कुरु नन्दन. And when tamas predominates in a person, how will he express it? He always lazy, postponing things. Even to do obligatory duties like cleaning the body or doing any obligatory duties, they will postpone it. Oh, after some time I will do it. Just like postponing things due to laziness. Not intelligence, not able to grasp anything quickly, always feeling drowsiness, sleepiness, and some of not involved in any work. They just sit idle, lethargy, not shrewd, and no sharp intelligence. So these are, they will not have that discriminatory power also. They will not be able to understand what is good or what is bad. They will be always in a confused state of mind. Even for a very small thing, they will get confused. They do not apply, they will not apply their intelligence. They cannot apply their intelligence because their intelligence will be covered by ignorance, always thinking about unnecessary things and being so dull. These are some of the ways, examples of some of the ways through which the tamasic nature finds expression. So, by understanding why Bhagavan is telling all this is, we have to understand our nature. We have to analyze our nature, what nature we have, and there is always opportunity to upgrade our nature. We cannot see there's a sequence: tamas, rajas, and sattva. A person who has dominant tamasic nature, he cannot directly jump to sattva guna. He has to upgrade himself to Rajoguna. How can he upgrade himself? He has to be active. Bhagavan itself himself says that he must take little food, involve in some work, and also working without for self motive, without motiveless, doing some work as karma yoga. Try himself to be active. If he feels drowsiness, then he has to reduce his food and do some action. So by that nature, a tamasic nature person can upgrade himself to rajasic nature. A person who has rajasic nature, restless nature, he has to calm down his mind. That is by doing meditation or by doing upasana. He has to calm down his mind. Even if he cannot directly go into meditation or upasana directly with that restless state of mind, he can opt for karma yoga. So the people who has tamasic nature, they also can do karma yoga, And the people who have rajasic nature, they also can do karma yoga, because by that they can be active, as well as the karma yoga purifies the mind. When the karma yoga purifies the mind of the person who has rajasic nature, then automatically he will develop an urge for attaining knowledge. So when he attains knowledge, automatically his mind will be free of all the impurities like greediness, jealousiness, etc. So like this, gradually we have to upgrade ourselves. So a person who has tamasic nature, he also can do karma yoga. That will purify his mind and make him more active and involve him in the rajasic nature. A person who have high rajasic nature, he also can do karma yoga. By that way, that karma yoga purifies his mind. He will be free of all the greediness, jealousiness, etc. But at the same time, he can use his restless nature by doing work also. By doing karma yoga, gradually his mind will settle for knowledge, he will become calm. And now the people who have sattva guna, they must aim themselves for liberation or to attain knowledge about Brahman. For people who have sattvic nature, Atma Vidya is very perfect. They will be able to grasp this Vidya very easily when a person has sattvic nature dominating in him. So these practices and these nature are used to, we must use it to upgrade ourselves. That's why there are different paths to liberation. One may say that karma yoga is better than all this, or jnana yoga is the highest, or Patanjali's Yoga Sutra is highest. No, it's not like that. They are all for different mentalities. When a person has a lower nature, they can use the path suitable for them and upgrade themselves to the next guna. When a person has that Rajoguna, he can use any one of this path and upgrade himself to the Sattva Guna, which is very close to liberation. A person who has Sattva Guna, he also can use the knowledge according to the path, according to his nature and grasp knowledge. But basically, for the people of Sattva Guna, the Jnana Yoga is very suitable. So like this, one has to analyze their own nature without any inhibition and upgrade ourselves. Basically, this nature, the guna of a person is formed according to their our prarabdha karmas, papa punya karmas. So when the guna in us changes, because the gunas are in the mind, when the guna changes, automatically we know to deal with our karmas, or we will be able to get rid of our karma. So powerful is these gunas. And these gunas, by surpassing these gunas, we have to attain liberation. So understanding these gunas is very important, and that's why Bhagavan Krishna explains it all this very clearly in this chapter. And now I take a break and continue with the rest of the shlokas of this chapter in my next upload. यत्र योगेश्वरः कृष्णः यत्र पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयोर्भूति ध्रुवानीतिर्मतिर्मम. ॐ श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु.